Forget GSTs and new Howard governments. In much of the English-speaking world right now, there's just one topic of conversation about Australia. It's whether Shane Warne can recover from shoulder surgery and resume his brilliant career. That's this cricketer's fame. That's the impact he has on his sport. That's his importance to Australia if we're to keep winning. Well, the news is that our greatest weapon is being reloaded, carefully, and all eyes are on him. But for Shane Warne, there's nothing new in that.
So you haven't driven this for a couple of weeks?
No, I haven't driven this for ages. You know, it's like you've got to wait 6 months for a nice day in Melbourne.
Nice car, though.
Shane Warne has been very good for cricket, and cricket good to him. It's earned him a big house, a very fast car, and a public profile that is almost Bradman-esque. He's not complaining. The purr of a Ferrari engine eases both the pain of his shoulder injury and doubts over his future.
Have you thought about what it is that you might do down the track?
I think I went through a stage this winter when I did, where there's a stage there when I might never ever bowl. And I started thinking about, shit, you know, what would I do? And honestly, I don't know. I haven't got any qualifications. I haven't got any university degrees. I'm not qualified in anything. I just haven't got any of that stuff.
What he has got is the ability to bowl spinners like no one before him. And what he's done with that talent is bring added excitement to the game, a fierce will to win, and a healthy streak of larrikinism.
Well, I think the game's progressed from now that, oh, jolly good shot, old chap, and have the tee, and oh, great shot. No, I think the game has progressed now.
This.
Yeah, it's in your face, I'm in your face, and try and win.
How's it feeling today, Shane?
Not bad, Steve. Just sort of gets, you know, where it gets stiff just up on the neck, bottom of the neck there.
Through this region?
Yeah.
For most of his career, Shane Warne has been used to bowling upwards of 8,000 deliveries a year. Human bodies aren't designed for that. And 6 months ago, he needed surgery to repair the tendon, cartilage and bone damage in his shoulder.
This section here is feeling comfortable?
Yeah, it feels good. I got 39 wickets in 6 tests last year. It's the best summer I ever had in my 7 or 8 summers here in Australia. And you say your shoulder's no good. So people start to think, well, hang on, what are you bloody just whinging? You know, you want a break. So I never took a break. I played and everything, and I suppose to my detriment, it's sort of, that's the extent of my shoulder, how bad it is. That's why I suppose it is as bad as what it is, and I had to have that operation.
And Warner's got him.
This is what's at stake. This is why Australian cricket needs Shane Warne to recover. 313 wickets in 67 tests. If he can return, a world record is for the taking. When he first joined the Australian team in 1991, the initial excitement was because he was a spinner in a game dominated by fast bowling. Then, 2 years later, against England, came this.
And he's done it. Gary has absolutely no idea what has happened to it. He still doesn't know.
And so began the brilliant career and the wear and tear on cricket's most valuable shoulder.
It's broken through, and that was very well bowled. Smith might
They said if I had kept going, that I could have maybe had 50 or 60% use of my shoulder for the rest of my life. Now that's pretty major. That means hardly any golf, tennis, throwing your baby in the air and doing lots of normal things that you can do.
6 months off cricket is not without its benefits.
Where's your ear? Where's your nose?
The Warne home team, wife Simone and baby daughter Brooke, have never seen so much of him. As for Shane, swapping hotels for house has been a revelation.
You gonna dance? You're not gonna dance, hey? Father will know exactly what I'm talking about when you just can't describe what it feels like when you wake up in the morning and your daughter comes running to the bed and you hide under the doona and you've been away for a week. Next minute she's going, Dada. And she lifts the doona up and sees you and goes, and she starts laughing and starts yelling, Dada. It really is a feeling of, there's just nothing, it doesn't matter. You don't even know what's going on in the rest of the world. You don't care. It's the best thing that's ever happened to me.
He told me today he's actually changed 2 nappies.
Oh yes, the big 2 nappies. One was about 3 months ago and the other one was the other day actually.
It is a big deal, this nappy changing, isn't it?
He's got this fear for some reason. I don't know whether he thinks, you know, she's going to squirt him or what she's going to do, or when he takes it off, he's just petrified of nappies. But I don't know. Maybe once he does a few, he'll sort of realise it's not that bad.
I think it sounds like a very good excuse.
Yeah, he's not exactly Mr. Mum material.
Oh, I've got 3 seconds to make the checkpoint. 2. Get there.
There's nothing terribly sophisticated about Shane Warne. He's just a boy from the burbs who now finds himself in a house full of big boys' toys and with an image that he says is way off the mark.
Oh,
Jeez, how many walls have you reckon?
so you reckon you're just an average young man?
Yep.
Just your regular boy next door?
Thanks, Liz. Yes, I am, aren't I? No, I think because of the way I play cricket, I think some people get the wrong impression of what I'm actually like. I think I'm too different. I suppose I'm a little bit like Jekyll and Hyde.
What do you reckon they think you're like?
Oh, arrogant, pompous, rude, obnoxious, big head. Geez, what else can I put in there? 20th out of 28. Terrible, Liz. No, terrible.
The goldfish bowl life is trying, and though he accepts it as the price of success, there are times when it all gets a bit much. Just because you make it as a Madame Tussauds Waxworks model doesn't mean you have to answer for not being as skinny.
That's why I wasn't answering any questions from you blokes. Yeah. That's it. Thanks, you ruined it, so thanks very much. I should have just said, yeah, good on you, mate, and had a bit of a giggle and get on with it. But at the stage, it was just constant. And it gets to a stage where enough's enough.
Well, I guess you're just human.
Well, good point. I think that people sometimes think that you're not human. You actually, yeah, we're exactly like that. We have got feelings. We do get hurt by some things. We've got thoughts about things, but we are human overall.
There is an obsession with Warne's weight and the food he eats. It turned farcical early this year during the Australian tour of India. The headlines blurted that Shane had sent out an SOS for baked beans because he couldn't stomach the local Indian food.
I apparently needed all this baked beans spaghetti. I was fading away to a block of flats, not a shadow. And they sent 960 kilos of baked beans and spaghetti. The next minute we got all this press about, we saw that they were superimposing baked beans spaghetti, and then the gag saying the Indian people are now wearing gas masks when they come out the bat. All those sorts of things happened. But everyone thought that I had ordered the baked beans, and I actually didn't. I didn't order it.
To set the record straight, 1, most of that ton of baked beans and spaghetti was given away when it landed in India. 2, Shane Warne is not fat, actually pretty fit. And 3, he's happy to confess he doesn't have a complicated palate.
Oh, meat pies we do like, especially at the footy with a cold beer. Being at the football, supporting your local club, being there with the mates, and getting one of those pies that they're not hot, they're not cold, but you can just demolish them in about 30 seconds. You can, and your sauce. Well, no matter what happens, you always dribble the sauce on your you've got a T-shirt or something.
I always get it
and
right
it
there.
always goes straight. It's like the jam donuts, just with that caravan. Hot jam donut, 6 for $1.80, 6 for $1.80. And next minute, whatever end you look for the jam, jam's that end, right? Okay, like this end. Then it goes straight down, it's hot and always goes over your fingers or down your jacket. Every time, it doesn't matter, and the sugar sticks to you.
See, but they're the things you're not allowed to do in the public. Oh.
Well, I think you can do those sort of stuff in public. I don't think you can drop your ducks and moon the crowd as well as when you're having a jam donut. I don't think you can do those things. But you can have a jam donut and all that sort of stuff.
Yes, and again. 1, 2, 3, go!
As for that other Shane Warne sin, yes, he does smoke. Yes, he knows it's not good for him. And yes, he's going to quit.
Rob said if you could get a couple with your hand coming down, great. But
These shots are being taken for a Nicorette advertising campaign. And come the new year, Shane's resolution will be tested very publicly.
Go to 125th and to 5, 6.5.
Do you feel you have an obligation to the public?
It's a tough one. I think we have got an obligation to be a role model and set certain standards. But I think sometimes the public want a bit too much. You know, the cameras over the road from my house where I live, and the bus tours that come past, and you know, stop off and take pictures of your house, you know. It's
How
hard.
did you feel when the first
Well,
bus rolled
the worst thing
by?
is I walked out of my, you know, I just had the track on, I just woke up. Oh, geez, get the papers. So I got the papers, take them in. Next minute, there's this bus load. I thought, oh, what are you guys doing here? Yeah, we're on a bus tour. And I said, how many? Twice a week. Oh, great. Well, do you mind if we get a photo? Oh, no, hey, all come over. So I stood there for about half an hour and did photos with them all, and then went back inside and just couldn't believe it.
You wouldn't believe it. He's done in between his legs.
To pass the time during his layoff, Shane has spent many hours in his theaterette, watching himself and his mates doing what they do best. It's always with cricket ball in hand, ready to return to action.
That's what the bat's for, son.
It's something that Terry Jenner, who's helped me a lot, he just said, listen, if you have a ball in your hand and you actually sit there and just play with it like this, I just did things like this and just play around in the hand and just get a feel for actually coming out the hand, all different deliveries, and just practice just these sort of things like a flipper, the leg break, like a top spinner, a wrong-un, a zuda. You know, getting all those sort of things happening.
Shane Warne is probably Australia's best-known sportsman, and the prize for that is calculated in the millions of dollars.
Have you guys seen Warne yet?
No.
He's the face of Just Jeans and Nike,
Warne arrived yet?
has contracts with other companies, including Channel 9.
Who, Warne? You ripped off his clothes, so did you?
And then there are his own business sidelines.
There you go, Merry Christmas.
Thanks. I've always wanted to bowl a wrong-un.
Yes, exactly. I'm sure you'd be good at it.
In fact, I think I've been bowling wrong-uns all my life.
Yeah, well.
Come to think of it.
Yes.
With his brother Jason acting as his personal assistant and business partner, already about 100,000 of these Shane Warne spinners kits have been sold.
I think this is the biggest, or the first real go at a business sort of thing. I'm not exactly sure what else I'd like to try. You know, you see lots of people getting into pasta, their own pasta mix or whatever it may be. I don't know. I think there'll be something out there that I might like.
Shane Warne pizza, come on.
Shane Warne toasted cheese sandwich might be half a chance. A special cheese and just toasted right might be well. But yeah, I don't know what's next. I hopefully get the shoulder right and start playing. It'd be nice.
In a few weeks, Australia takes on the old enemy, England. Although he is bowling again, chances are he won't be playing in the first test. His shoulder is not yet strong enough. For Shane Warne, it's the ultimate frustration. Until now, his whole life has been cricket. But his time off has forced him to take stock.
I'm emotional when I play. It's sometimes over the top, but I love it. I just really love it, and I get off on the game. I just love getting involved with it, and yeah, sometimes I go over the top of that. I think that's what it's all about, having characters out there that you can relate to, that you know he's just a genuine bloke and he's having a good time out there.
What's best, being the family man or being probably the world's best spinner?
Family man. I really, really enjoy being part of the family, and cricket, I think, used to always be my number one priority no matter what. Now it's number two. My family, and my daughter, that's number one now for sure. If I had to make a choice between cricket, my daughter and my wife, today, no, not even a question. See you later, cricket. Kiss. Hey, you dummy. Kiss. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Liz Hayes. Thanks for watching 60 Minutes Australia. Subscribe to our channel now for brand new stories and exclusive clips every week. And don't miss out on our extra minute segments and full episodes of 60 Minutes on 9now.com.au and the 9Now app.